So now that you've actually gone out and shot your video, the most important thing you need to do now is edit it. Now, people can be a little bit cautious about doing this, that face it with a lot of trepidation, but iMovie, the app for iPhone and only iPhone, is amazingly easy to use. So you download the iMovie app, it's $5.49 from App Store, cheap as chips. And this is pretty much how you're going to edit. Once you open iMovie, to start a project, just hit the plus button on the bottom left. What you need to do now is start laying your clips in logical order. So I shot a sequence earlier of my colleague Joe. It'll come up with video, photos, and audio. What we're going to do first is lay our video bed. So I'm going to take just some very quick shots. I won't show an entire sequence. One shot here, double click, and it will lay it on the timeline. If I were to show you that shot, just dragging it along, hit play in the middle, and you'll see I've recorded some DAG, a little bit of room at the start and room at the end, where I can actually make it easier to edit. So I want to get Jo as she walks off camera. If I just click on the clip, I can drag it back. So Jo leaves just about here. That's where I want to cut it there. And now I'm going to bring in my next clip. You need to do this logically. So you work out your sequence. My first shot is here, and now I'm going to go to the next shot, and that'll be of Jo walking past and going to the door. Again, double click, drag it along, and I know from past experience from when I shot this that I've got quite a significant amount of time at the start I need to get rid of. So again, I'm just dragging the clip, click, drag until I can shrink it, until I get Jo walking in from camera left. So I'll drag it back, and we'll go from here. So you'll see the shot will go now like this. It goes camera right to camera left. What I don't like at the moment is that there's a dissolve in here. Let me show you that again. So where the two shots blur together. For a hard news story, we don't really do dissolves. So just double click on that little transition effect, select none and done. If you press play again, always press play to check, you'll just see it's one straight cut and Jo walks in. One of the great things that iMovie gives is a duration at the end. And although you probably can't see that there, the clip is currently at 20 seconds in duration. What we'll do now is we'll put on some titles. So up here on the top right, you'll see a little settings button. So we're going to whack on some titles. It gives you a range of options that you can choose. And the one we're going to choose is news. We're also going to put in, while we're here, some fade in from black at the start and fade in from black at the end. Double click on your clip, and we're going to open with a graphic. And on that, we're just going to write whatever the name of the story was. So we're just going to call it a clip. Done. We also need to get a super, and the super is the name that would go under Jo to identify to the viewer who we're talking about. That will go on the next clip. One thing to remember when doing titles is that the title will stay on for the duration of the entire clip. So a super will come up like this, and it's in the middle. Presents with the text there, and we need J-O. Done. Now, if we want to record voiceover, just queue up exactly where you want to go. At the top in the middle, you'll see a microphone function. Queue up with the bar, the pink bar, as to exactly where you want your voice to appear. And you'll see that it comes up with an audio level saying ready to record. Hit record. Time in. Monash Journalism's labs are the nerve centre of video production for the Caulfield campus. And then hit stop and accept. Drag it back and have a listen to how it goes. Monash Journalism's labs are the nerve centre of video production for the Caulfield campus. You can also put on an audio track. Now, an important thing if you are actually going to be using an audio track is to make sure it's through Creative Commons. Don't use licensed music. So we go over here, go to audio, go to artists or songs, and you can whack one in there. So we'll just click that one. We won't play it for too long. Remember to always use Creative Commons music, license-free music. And that'll put an audio track on there. Again, only for current affairs stories. You wouldn't really use it for a news story. But it's just a nice function to actually have there. So you can see the voiceover is in purple and the music is in green. So now your clip is pretty much done. Double check it, make sure you've tightened it all the way up. And then we go back to your project and go to the middle. I always like to export it to my camera roll and do it in HD 720p. Once it's finished and it's saved your camera roll, you can then upload it to YouTube, you can upload it to Vimeo, or you can upload it to Dropbox. And that's a really good way of getting it back to the newsroom really quickly. And then the newsroom can actually then grab that link and download the file. So it's a really quick way of editing on the run. So we've shown you now how to shoot, but you can also edit on the phone as well, upload it and have your whole story scripted, voiced, put music on with some production, some transition effects if you need as well, and some titles really quickly, probably within about half an hour.